I'm Jonathan Schmidt. I'm the lead terrain artist on Saints Row 3, and this is a tour of our editor. Right now we're looking at the downtown district, all the roads and layout and technical data that you see all over there that leads the characters and cars around the world. So the key power of our new feature set is iteration time. It's more time for awesome, less time screwing around with just nitty-gritty meshes and UVs and all the stuff that normally plagues environment artists. We have a lot of magical tools that just create roads for us. We don't have to spend all the time to model curves and texture curves. It just all happens on the fly with some files that we have set up. All the traffic patterns and all that in the past that was hand created, and that all happens automatically in the code under the hood. You can see the road texture just grows and changes based on it. And we have this super high detailed map, all the source art's created in Max, and then you just drop it into the world. You have this very dense high poly mesh. It was lovingly handcrafted, and then you can just put it anywhere in the world that you want. It's probably been about three to 4 years creating like the basic renderer and then all the tools. And since then, every day it gets better, it gets stronger. If you wanted to rough in, what would it look like to have a building in the middle of the street? You just throw in a quick box. What would it look like what's the silhouette now? How's the silhouette change in the city if we just throw in a taller building here? And then from there we take like these very rough shapes, and then eventually the structure team takes over and turns it into something a lot more grand and finished and polished. The city went in probably a dozen iterations over the time. We started with some quick rough silhouettes of the world, different ideas, bodies of water here, islands over here, and then we worked with design, like what kind of stuff do you guys like to see, kind of artistically looked at it like, okay, well, you like the bay here, I kind of dig that idea, we could put our statue here, and then just funnel all the gameplay around that. We kind of have like a radial heat map in the way that we design the world around all the most important areas. Like, for example, this guy over here, he's this will be our massive downtown hospital complex. The player's going to be dying a lot, players going to be responding in the world when they're just tooling around in the open world. So we focus a lot of high intensity detail around this area, to make it look and play as exciting as possible for the player. To me, this is the pinnacle of Saints Row. Working on the first one and the second one, I never thought I'd be excited for a third one, just artistically. You think you want something different, but man, the art direction for this title, for this iteration, is off the charts for me. So when I came on Saints Row 1, it was actually it was just after the E3 announcement of Saints Row 1 when I joined the company, and super exciting for me. It was the kind of game that I always dreamed about working on. As a kid, I remember thinking about like, oh, what if you had this giant world and you could be walking around and you go into any store you want and purchase a weapon or just kill a person and take it, all those sadistic little things, and it lets you do that. We do have a live camera update. You could be looking at the world on your computer here and say, okay, where am I in the world? And you can see people walking around. I think I might have cars turned off. There you go. Some cars driving around. It's called the CTG editor. It stands for Core Technology Group. This will be the future of Volition titles here. All the different things that we could pack into this thing. Right now it's built to model urban roads and everything, but we've also used the same technology to model dirt paths and cliff walls and all kinds of stuff like that we could just create on the fly. So it's built with Saints Row in mind, but it's also kind of a genreless piece of technology that can do just about anything that we want it to. There's been like whispers of other THQ studios that are like, hey, what kind of stuff do those guys have? Maybe we could get our hands on it. There's stuff that I probably can't talk about that we use this technology that is completely mind-blowing. It's absolutely hilarious. And when we first started pushing the boundaries of what these tools can do, it got crazy and fun and really concocted some awesome stuff. I probably can't call it what we call it inside, but there's an island where some major shit's gonna go down, and I think it's gonna blow people's minds for what it is. It's completely Saints Row. Anything goes. Whatever's fun, whatever's exciting, just do it because we're not restrained to realism, It's just so yeah. There's this floating island in the southwest corner of the world that is surrounded by drawbridges and something's inside. So yeah, I'm excited.